Hey now everyone, welcome to an Elo Vapor Info Review, Video 1. Basically my reasoning behind making these videos is to give a little bit of my background, what I've been going through with vaping. The format and schedules for this is basically going to run on Sundays. Try to get those uploaded for you each and every Sunday. If you don't want to listen to the video, we are going to have a tip, vaping tip here. This one's on the Kanger Protank 2, a model that I really like and enjoy a lot. I've learned a lot about it already in just a short time I've been vaping. So we'll go ahead and cut to the video. If that's all you want to watch, that's fine. If you want to come back and stick around for the rest of the video, we'll see you in a little bit.
So now we have the Kanger head, 2.2 ohm, the Kanger base, and we're going to screw the base in. We're going to then take a small flathead screwdriver and start working this little bit of wick. This is just a little leftover silica wick. Notice that it is two pieces that I wound together here, and as we work it around, we're just holding it in place with the thumb, and it will all fit underneath the silica cap. I'm just going to tuck it in there, take the extras, any strands that come out, I don't want those, and now you have securely tuck the wick underneath the silica cap. There it is, right there. And that will stop a lot of your leaking problems, your dry hits, the gurgling, all that comes with the beauty of a Kanger. And that is your vape tip of the week.
So I hope you found that information helpful on the Kanger Protank, and I have the same head here on a David tank, actually on my Tesla, and just see how that head vapes. No leaking, no gurgling, works good. So continuing on with my intentions on these videos, basically just going to go account by account of what I went through with vaping, and you know, I welcome all the new vapors, ex-smokers out there. I know I struggled with myself since the age of 15 on with smoking, and always wanted to find an alternative. Vaping seems to be handling my needs, and if it's working or something's working for you, by all means, you know, go for it. As it says in the intro of the video, though, if you are not a smoker or an ex-smoker, you know, don't pick up the habit. It's one of those ones that you just don't need. It's another habit. Wouldn't recommend it to anybody that's not a smoker. And for chew, for that matter, I've known a couple people now that have gotten off of chew by starting to vape. So getting their nicotine in that manner would definitely be recommended. Why I decided to quit, basically decided to quit, you know, I was tired of being out of breath. I actually quit for a year and was running, hurt my back, and then you know, kind of fell right back into smoking again, going to parties and just seeing it, being around it, but I wanted to quit again, and was looking for an alternative, and this was it. Hated going out in the rain and the snow. I don't mind doing it at work. I understand, you know, you don't vape at work, but some places you can. My place you can't. The smell, you know, that smell of that cigarette and that nicotine, just horrible. And then feeling, you know, pretty horrible too, just from having it, and of course wanting to be around for my family. You know, vaping is actually the closest thing that I found to smoking without smoking. and it's one of those things that actually works. It gives you, as you see, everything that you need. It gives you your nicotine. It gives you that oral fixation of taking a hit, taking a drag, going through the motions. You can be around other smokers and be vaping. I actually, still enjoy the social interaction that comes with smoking. Probably why I smoked for so many years. A lot of my friends do. A lot of my family does. So I enjoyed that, and vaping is that sensation all over again, but without all of the side effects. For many of you, this one worked for me. So if you find something else that works for you, great. The gum, the patches, no luck there. Didn't even want to try them. But this for whatever reason just made sense to me. When I saw it and I got into it, I actually saw a family member doing this at a wedding. Couldn't get over what he was doing and how popular it was. So I'm going to take a toot right now, in the words of Grimm. So I mentioned, I was smoking for almost 15 years. I was smoking about a pack a day. Jumped between ultralights and lights. Was kind of always in that middle ground there. It's a big stress reliever. Smoking. You need that time to yourself. You go out, you have that cigarette, or be around other people having that cigarette. It just calms you down. Get that nicotine, that nice sensation. Man, there was nothing like it. That's where I came from. But definitely a social interaction for me. My vape day, I call it my vape day. My day that I started vaping and actually quit smoking was first officially done on September 22nd, 2013. So, not too long ago, but in the vaping world, really nothing's too short. It's one of those things that's up and coming. If you've been vaping for 3 years, you're an old veteran at this point. If you have a couple months under your belt, you're past the rookie stage almost at that point. Actually, bought my first Ego style battery, and we'll get into more of that in the next video. I actually show it and how it works, and why it was such a big thing for me. But I bought grape flavored triple E or triple 3 e-liquid, 15% nic. And I bought that on one Thursday, had it that evening. It was pretty amazing. I couldn't believe it. In fact, I got a nicotine headache, and I never had that from cigarettes, but I got a nicotine headache almost right away from it, because I was just, vaping and vaping and vaping. My brain's out almost. It was, just loved it. Friday I smoked a little bit at work. I think I had 2 that Friday evening. By Saturday, I was already down to 5 cigarettes. I'd only had 5 cigarettes. In fact, I wasn't even liking the taste of the cigarettes anymore. And I knew that this was for me. I was locked. I was hooked, addicted to vaping, which is so much better than smoking. I'll talk a little bit about the downsides of smoking and the upsides of vaping. It is by no means, and you'll hear this time and time again on any videos that you watch, it's by no means the safest option. The safest option obviously is to quit cold turkey. I could never do it. Tried and tried, always went back to smoking. Had success for a month, a week, a year, always went back. So it is a health reduction. It's actually a risk reduction. Really does reduce your risk overall. So my vape day, coming in there, I had the C4, and I'll show you what those look like too, with an Ego battery and that triple liquid. By Sunday, that brings us up to Sunday. So Saturday, 5 cigarettes. Sunday, 2 cigarettes. I had one in the morning, one in around noonish, and about that time I was actually headed to my first vape shop already, and that's when I upgraded to an actual variable voltage Tesla mod. Right there, you can see, and have been hooked ever since. So like many of you out there, brings me to my next point, my doubts. Boy, did I have doubts. I saw it and I thought, this is never going to work. In fact, people that I was actually at the wedding with, when I first saw it, they were bumming cigarettes left and right off of people, and I couldn't figure out, why are you, you have this vaping, this so much better option for your health, but that cigarette, seeing people smoking and seeing the side effects of the people smoking, I guess, is being around other people smoking, and they wanted it, and they ended up smoking a lot that weekend. So when I first wanted to do this, I definitely had my doubts. Electronic cigarettes I tried in the past. I had tried the blues. They were pretty. They weren't for me. Not enough hit. I didn't like any of the flavors. I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I didn't want to at that point, because I do hear that they're pretty good now. I haven't tried them recently. I tried other, cheaper versions of that from different, sales and things, gas stations. They were a pain. You had to keep charging them. They ran out within an hour. The battery life was horrible. The cartridges, which I don't even have any around. They're about the size here of this drip tip, which you can see right here. They fit into the battery, and that cartridge is filled with e-liquid, and then from there, you go ahead and you vape. It looks like smoking, feels like smoking, so I can see the appeal of those little ones, but for me, it was never going to do it. It never worked. I didn't get what I wanted out of it. I hate the word e-cigarettes, by the way. You may hear that word, electronic cigarettes. That's what I consider those little ones to be. And I'll tell you what, we vape. If you're a vapor watching this, and that's what we do. We vape, and I like to refer to them as vaporizers. Everybody always asks, what is this thing? What do you got, electronic cigarette? No, this is more than that. This is a vaporizer. Essentially, it does the same thing, but with this, it's so much better. You have variable voltage, variable wattage. You have your mechanical mods. You have your a battery that lasts a lot longer than those electronic cigarettes, and so you'll hear me refer to this a lot as a vaporizer. I guess it's just the word electronic cigarette. Maybe I just don't like it yet. I don't know. Actually, when I was going for this too, my other doubt behind this was I went to buy this, this electronic vaporizer. Went over to a smoke shop that had them, and they were all out of tobacco flavor. But I'll tell you what, thank God they were, because I can't even stand tobacco flavors anymore. In fact, most of the flavors I go for are bakeries type or fruit flavors now, even occasionally a menthol. And I hated menthol cigarettes. So, you never know what you're going to like until you try it. And, you try something for the first time, whether it be a food or a sport, an exercise, working out. You may find you like it. I found that I liked vaping. I just liked it. My first impressions of it, as I said, it must have been pretty good, because I vaped the thing all night. I vaped the battery dead, in fact, the first night. 650 mAh Ego battery, completely dead, just wasted the thing. So, I'll have that review up pretty soon too, next Sunday. But it gave really good hit. I thought, wow, this thing is really working. I did not crave the cigarette. In fact, as I said, boy, did I had a nicotine headache like you wouldn't believe. And so it was obviously working for me. Immediately I wanted more flavor. I wanted bigger and better stuff. I wanted to learn more about it, and that's really what led me to a lot of research that I started doing. In my researching, brings me to my next point: research. When I was first looking at these things, the local vape shops are probably the best research you can do. If you can find one in your area, even if some of mine are an hour drive away, but I still go. Just because they're great sources of information. But there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of good videos. Highly recommended on that would be Phil Pizzardo. He has tasteyourjuice.com. I learned, I probably read that whole website twice now. Just went through everything, and I can't wait for each video that he does. grimgreenindustries.com. They're awesome. Those two guys, they will teach you so much They'll teach you so much just by watching the videos and going to their websites. And you know, I gradually worked my way back through all of their archived videos, and I still have a few to go, but I've really caught up on most of Phil's. And Grim, you know, I'm still working on his, but great sources of information. Learned a lot from them. And then I highly recommend the Vape Search USA. It's actually a store locator, very simple to use. You basically pick your state on there, and then from there, you know, you're taken to a listing of just many different vape shops that are open, and they try to update that thing a lot. In fact, you know, I do see a lot of the new ones that I hear opening up. I see them on there, which is awesome. So they do try to do a pretty good job with keeping up with that. You know, I have my next video I'm planning on coming out with the Sunday after this one, and I'm just going to it'll be a continuation of what I've went through and what I'm going through in vaping. So I'll try to get a video up each Sunday. You know, it's just going to be stories and reviews. I will do reviews. You know, you know, in the queue, definitely, if you want to call in the queue using Phil's term, will be the Tesla, the David tank, the Kanger tank, the Kanger Mini, you know, all of these different things that I've just started to accumulate now. I will review. I'll do juice reviews. So I'm trying to get a lot of stuff up there and just going, but in the whole time it'll be a story as well. So it's just not going to be a simple review. You'll also, you know, have the background there of you know, why I did what, to try to help the new people out there. And maybe, you know, some of the old vapors listening to this, maybe you guys pick up a tip or two. I'm always willing to learn. Like I said, I'm constantly watching videos. So, you know, you'll be able to check me out there. You can actually go on Facebook, Elo Vapor, ELOVAPOR, Vapor. Definitely check me out on Facebook, friend up, whatever. And you know, if you want to chat, probably going through the mail account. I have my email address up there as well on the Facebook page. So, you know, if you're thinking about it, highly recommended going to a vape shop, buying some good equipment the first time. Don't rely on your gas station to sell you a good vaporizer. Most of them, when you walk in and you ask for e-liquid, that's what's in the tank right now. In fact, got a little peach and menthol in here by Nickwood. If you go in there, they're not even going to know what you're talking about. You know, I mean, they're going to try to sell you the blues. They're going to try to sell you the cartridges. They're too expensive. They just don't work for me. Maybe they would work for you. You can definitely try them. My recommendation, find a vape shop, go there, talk to the people, and they'll let you try. They'll definitely let you try. Vapors I have come across, they're some of the friendliest people I've ever met. They're just, you know, they're so willing to teach others. So, you know, try to stay digital and not analog. Have a good week.